Bill O'Reilly was talking immigration on The Factor with guests Ben Johnson of the American Immigration Council and Enrique Morones, founder of Border Angels, when this conversation happened.
Now, Mr. Morones, come on. I know where you're coming from, and I know you want a humane policy, but you don't want, Mr. Morones, you yourself do not want a secure border. You don't want to stop the people from coming here. I mean, don't you think that's a little...
That's what you say. That's what you say, but that's not true. The border has never been more secure.
So what would you do to stop that? All of that is your opinion. It's not. You missed, I guess, the kids coming in here to the tune of 100,000 unaccompanied minors coming in here in this fiscal year. But what would you do, Mr. Morones?
First of all,
what would you do, Mr. Morones?
Bill,
what would you do to stop people from coming in here illegally? What?
Well, first of all, there's not 100,000. It's close to 60,000.
What would you do, Mr. Morones? Last chance, sir. Last chance. What would you do to stop it?
When your forefathers and foremothers came in, there was no illegal way to come.
All right, Mr. Morones,
so today we want to have a legal way to come. Most of them are not coming.
We appreciate your time.
And the sergeant?
Mr. Johnson, what would you do to stop people from coming in here illegally?
What I would do is I would develop smarter enforcement strategies.
Like what?
I think we need more worksite enforcement strategies. I think we need more enforcement strategies that are aimed at those folks that are a real threat to our community.
But you're generalizing, sir. You know you're generalizing.
I'm happy to
you don't have anything, and Mr. Morones doesn't have anything. You don't have any inhibiting. You have no inhibiting program to stop the massive amount of people coming in.
Absolutely.
I'll give you one more
what it involves is a good enforcement policy backed up by a strategy to allow people that we want and need to come to the country legally.
Okay, guys.
Okay, guys. A different opinion? No, we can't have that. Cut their mics. Can't have that side of the story. No, that's pretty much classic O'Reilly. And, it's classic O'Reilly. It's classic Fox News. If I don't agree with you, I'm going to keep badgering you with a ridiculous question and then cut your mic for not answering it with a simple yes or no when you try to actually expand on the point that you're trying to make. It's pretty much like I kind of draw the parallel with Sean Hannity because essentially he does the same exact thing. So you've got O'Reilly and Hannity and a lot of the Fox people doing the same thing, cutting people's mics when they even attempt to address the issue or finish what they're talking about. It's almost like he invited them on pretty much just to yell talking points at him. Dan, what do you think?
It's not just maybe he did that. That's exactly what he's doing. They literally have set up a segment on Fox News where it's basically like pinata time at the OK Corral. We've just decided to invite guests on to disagree with us and then yell at them until the segment's over, and somehow it's declared a victory. And I don't really get, listen, none of us like Fox News, obviously, so we're just doing the same thing by kind of pinataing them right now. But the difference being is I don't understand why these segments actually get entertainment out of Factor of anybody. I get bubble living, but this is just obnoxious. And it's been like this for a decade, and it was almost bearable 10 years ago because it felt like, at least at the time, that you would have somebody on and he would get really mad and it would be kind of somewhat amusing. Now he just cuts their mics right off the bat. As soon as somebody says, I don't agree with you, and that was a really great example. We saw the Sean Hannity one from a week ago in Ferguson where he was just like, I'm not going to let you speak, and I'm going to tell you how I can educate you, person in Ferguson, about your situation. This week with this O'Reilly clip, I think something really funny happens where he says, listen, guys, listen, do you have a plan? And he's like, actually, your numbers are wrong. And O'Reilly's like, that's your opinion. No, that's not. Your numbers are actually wrong. The second thing that comes in with that made me laugh was where he says, he won't accept the premise. It's really funny. We're now so dumb as a culture. We're not even debating straw man points. We're actually debating whether your man is made of straw. That's where we're at now in news debate. It's I don't think that's straw. I don't think that's straw for 5 minutes, and then cut your mic. He's saying straw. So there's no hope or prayer of interesting conversation happening. And the thing that's really sad is in a lot of these conversations, there's actually a ton of room for debate that would actually be quite helpful to the culture and the narrative. Instead, we've got Bill O'Reilly, who truly believes like over 1 million people are going to come rushing through the border. And if you really, we took a look at this amazing clip from a couple of weeks ago where Brit Hume. It's funny to watch like this sort of like the intellectual pyramid of Fox News, because Brit Hume is just like, holy fuck, I'm talking to Beavis and Butthead. Like, he's just, his whole face for this segment talking about immigration reform with Bill O'Reilly, he's like, it's like watching that guy in high school who wanted nothing to do with you, just like humor you because the teacher was watching. He was like, well, Bill, I don't think, 1 million people are going to get through the border. Oh, they will! It's going to happen! No, I don't think that's very likely, Bill. And Bill O'Reilly is convinced. It's like, what are you going to do, Bill? Like, it's, it is international law if children show up that we have to accept them because that's, the kind of world that we live in. No, you turn them away! It's just like, I don't want to talk about international law. I don't want to talk about reality. I only want to talk about the straw man in my world that I've created, and if you disagree with the straw man, I'm going to yell at you for 5 minutes. It's absurd.
That's what Fox News has become now. It's Clint Eastwood interviewing a chair, which is a shame because I love Clint Eastwood. I think he's a great actor. I just wish he hadn't done that. But yeah, it's like, Bill, I love you when you're arguing with Jon Stewart because it's funny and you know how to play the role there and you know how to be entertaining about that. And if you're not playing a role, even still, it's amusing because you're just so laughably wrong. But good God, man. You're supposed to be one of the more reasonable people on Fox, next to maybe like a little bit of Megyn Kelly and a lot more of Shep Smith, although depending on the issue, Shep Smith can be just as bad. So, Bill, we love you for your dumbness, but stop it. Stop being dumb and censory. God.